2NURFM.com, a broadcast service of the University of Newcastle.
As we check out the environment and us, we do that with the director of the Tom Farrell Institute for the Environment at the University of Newcastle. Professor Tim Roberts, good morning to you.
Morning, Dave. How are you?
Today, an interesting one. We're heading south, Melbourne, going carbon neutral.
Yes, some people say Melbourne's a bit better than Sydney in this, but I think Sydney will catch up shortly. But first of all, what about carbon neutral? Carbon neutral was declared the word of the year in 2006 by the new Oxford American Dictionary because suddenly everybody was using this term. And what it really exemplifies, I think, is the greening of our culture and the greening of our language. So to define carbon neutral isn't simple, it's not straightforward. We've got to, first of all, understand carbon footprint. Everybody's got a carbon footprint. That chair's got a carbon footprint, a car's got a carbon footprint, a city's got a carbon footprint. And basically what that means is the amount of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases each thing or person is responsible for putting into the atmosphere. And you might say, Dave, why do we care about that? Well, we care about the fact that since the Industrial Revolution, we have been pumping greenhouse gases up into the atmosphere, and so our climate is, our world is warming and we are getting climate change. So if you're carbon neutral, then at least you're doing something about offsetting your carbon footprint. In other words, you are looking after how much gas you put up into the atmosphere. So for the city, there is a national body, a national carbon offset standard, and the group who organises that, Low Carbon Australia, have awarded the City of Melbourne a certification as being a carbon neutral city because of what they're planning to do. It's not because of what they've done, but because of what they're planning to do. And so they are looking to institute new waste management systems, new ways of installing efficient heating, cooling, new water systems, all those things that use energy. And also, as I mentioned last week, they're unlocking funds for people to improve their buildings. Remember, we spoke about the environmental upgrade agreements. So they're doing things with stormwater, catching stormwater, encouraging the residents to have a low carbon lifestyle, and so on. So that's what's happening in Melbourne.
Okay. They're being very proactive, aren't they? That's
for sure. They are actually quantifying the carbon footprint of each organisation, and by knowing how big the footprint is, then they can work out how to lower that footprint.
Now, what about some homework for us for next week? What topic would you like to discuss?
I wanted to go back to China. I like China a lot. And I'll talk about laptops and pandas. Okay,
an interesting one. Laptops and pandas. That'll be our topic tomorrow, next Tuesday. We'll look forward to that. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Bye-bye.
Joining us from the University of Newcastle, the director of the Tom Farrell Institute for the Environment, Professor Tim Roberts, as always on a Tuesday morning at 2NURFM 103.7.